Today, on Be Something Wonderful, forget everything you've learned about manifesting except this. I am your host, Tom Kearin, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, good morning and welcome back to the studios of Be Something Wonderful. Big video for you today, and really the last few days. We released 2 videos yesterday, one on the public channel, one on the membership channel, and then the other 2 videos before that, Saturday and Friday, and we're receiving a lot of messages, a lot of emails about tremendous movement within and without. And yet there are still a few of you who are still identifying with the limited identity and the limited reality that you no longer prefer. In other words, a few of you are still trying to feel better about an identity or a reality that you no longer choose. So you keep focused on that, hoping that you can attract what you want in your life in this future that you keep creating. So you keep perpetuating the identity, the past events that you say that you no longer want to focus on, and an identity that you no longer prefer. Yet you're trying to feel better about that identity with the hopes of manifesting what you want in the future. I want to hit this idea more than anything because remember, really what we're talking about is forget everything that you've learned about manifesting. It's not creating anything outside of you. It's all about you. You're not attracting things in your life. You are the life. You're experiencing itself. You're experiencing, you're perceiving is reality. And so and you get to choose your experiencing or your experience. Circumstances are going to be circumstances, conditions, conditions. And even manifested experiences. But how you experience them, in other words, your experiencing of them, is all up to you here and now. One particular, this really relates to a few of you that I've talked to. And I want to bring this comment up from one of you. I have begun to believe I could have an experience here beyond my wildest dreams. Well, you can. Despite the experiences of the bad things in my stories and past and current 3D conditions. But do you see? You're saying that this is who I am. I am those past and current 3D conditions. I am that identity. But I feel better about that identity if I have the hopes of experiencing my wildest dreams in the future. But you can't get to that future without being that new identity. That past and those current conditions no longer belong to you. They belong to the former you, the old you. But you haven't moved there. So not if you keep creating the experiences of bad things. In other words, identifying with that identity, that's your past. It's one of your potential realities, one of your identities, but you're no longer that. You're making a choice to be something new, someone new, a new reality. Right? You determine your experience of reality. In other words, your experiencing is reality. Here and now, past, present, and future. So hoping for a better future that never comes, but temporarily resolves or soothes your negative feelings of non-fulfillment. That's what you're creating there, right? You're hoping for a better experience and you get excited about that. And that soothes or makes you temporarily feel better about the unfulfilled identity that you're identifying with. Do you see it? So it's not about that. That's why I always talk about it's good to feel good. But feel good from the identity level, from top down, not bottom up, trying to make an identity and a reality that you no longer choose to feel good about it or look different so you can feel good about it. Instead, choose again. Do you see? The feeling better about that limited identity, that's what you're doing. You're not living in the end or experiencing it now. You're hoping that experience, right here, you said it, so I could have an experience in the future beyond my wildest dreams. Well, you can't have that unless you are the experiencing. Experiencing is the reality. You got to experience that now. Right? Now, so, and then you say, now it seems, this is a continuation in the comments. Now it seems the only choice I have is to not make any judgment on my 3D experiences and rest in the inner fulfillment regardless of the 3D circumstances. Well, do you see the way you're looking at that? You're saying, my only choice in this limited identity, in this reality that I don't prefer, is to look at it like it's my preference. That makes no sense. We're saying there's a greater reality behind it. That's what we mean by looking at all that circumstances don't matter. There's a greater reality and identity that you prefer behind all those conditions. We're saying identify with that one, not trying to believe that an identity or reality that you no longer prefer is good for you. You've decided that it's not your choice. Then you say here, but it was my hope that from here I could choose my desires in 3D. Well, you can. But do you see you're making it contingent on some future experience? You've got to be that identity now. You have this future hope while you tolerate circumstances that you don't choose, that you don't resonate with anymore, the past and present, and try to see them as good. They're just not your choice. The key is to be indifferent to them because they're not your choice anymore. It's not who you are. But yet you're in a limited identity trying to feel good about that limited identity in those limiting conditions. You see that? That's what's going on there. I'm feeling so much resistance as I do not merely wish to see my experience of abuse, pain, sickness, suffering as good. I want to choose an experience of love, freedom, health, and peace. Yes, that's your new identity, but you are the experiencing. It's not about seeing that experience as good. It's about seeing it as an experience that's no longer your preference. It's not your identity. It's no longer who you are. There's a greater reality behind it. That's what we're talking about. It's not trying to feel good about this identity that still believes that that's their identity. That's their horizontal past. Remember, who you identify with right now creates your entire life experience and creates who you were and who you will be. You're no longer that identity, but you keep saying you are and that you want this. Do you see it? So, but you, and I say here, but you're not. You want to. You hope to. But you're defining yourself as the identity experiencing abuse, pain, and sickness and suffering. That I am still that person. I am still in that reality. Your identity in experiencing is reality. Your identity, who you define yourself to be, and your experiencing itself is reality. And it's your entire life experience. You choose your identity in experiencing a reality, and that changes the experience of your reality. I'm going to show you this today in a powerful way. But do you see it? When you choose your identity, choose who you are, and determine how, whatever the conditions are, whatever the circumstances are, whatever the manifested experiences, past or present, are, you get to decide your experiencing of them. And that experiencing determines and changes that manifested experience. Wow. Do you see that? So yes, of course you can choose, despite your past and current circumstances, but not from the identity that still thinks that that's who they are. Do you see it? You have this continual judgment of your past and present circumstances, and you give them reality. You give them solidity. And it recreates the experience, which becomes your experiencing of reality. That's powerful. I'm not sure we've ever said it in that way before. Forget everything you've learned about manifesting except this. It's about who, and the who is you. I am from Loki. Brilliant words. Your experiencing itself, the perceiving itself, is reality. All of it. Not the manifested experiences or the temporary events and circumstances or the temporary thoughts, but you're experiencing itself. How are you experiencing those thoughts and feelings and conditions? You get to determine that, and that changes that experience. Wow, it's powerful. Circumstances are circumstances. Conditions are conditions. Experience, manifested experience is manifested experience, but I am. In other words, I am the experiencing itself, the awareness itself, The God within all of those conditions that determines, creates, manifests, and chooses what these experiences mean and what they will turn into. That's powerful. I don't really think we've said it that way before. Maybe we have. Remember, love or awareness of being is the only reality. You exist as that one love, that one awareness, that one consciousness, that one reality experiencing itself or yourself from infinite perspectives, viewpoints, vantage points in every moment. One moment in one mind. And that all of those experiences together, of all those infinite experiences that you have in every other point of consciousness, is seen as one experience by that higher and greater you. Do you see it? So your experience of reality is your reality, the one I am. In other words, your experiencing of reality is reality. It's the only reality. Therefore, when you change your experiencing of reality, you change your experience, what you manifest or create. And then that changes your reality. In other words, it changes your experiencing of reality. So your experiencing of itself changes the experience. That's powerful. So you are the only one that has the power and authority to determine your experience of reality. That I am awareness, one with the great I am. That's what Jesus meant, or what your I am awareness of being said when he said, you could have no power at all against me. In other words, you would have no authority over me unless it had been given from above in John 19:11. In other words, you are the only power and authority. That's your ultimate self-concept. I am who I am. I'm a man. I'm having this physical experience. There are manifested conditions there. There's a past that I was identifying with, an identity that I was identifying as. But that's no longer who I identify with. I am who I am. Yet I'm a man, yet I am who I am, who I assume and affirm and imagine myself to be right now, here and now. It's about who, and that who is you. In other words, no matter what the experience, the manifested experience, the past of abuse, of pain, of betrayal, whatever we're talking about, right? That past experience, physical or non-physical, right? Physical meaning people, events, and circumstances, or non-physical thoughts and feelings. You choose your experiencing of it. And that changes or shifts or manifests your experience and reality, past, present, and future. Do you see it? God only sees an experience of that one love, that one unity. All experiences, all points of consciousness, taken together, all of those experiences together in one unity, God sees as one fluid awareness or experience of reality. And that is reality, and it's love. How you experience that love, how you judge it, what you create as your experience, what you create as your experiencing is up to you. You determine that, right? So you choose your experiencing of that one reality, or those manifested experiences, or those physical people, events, and circumstances, or thoughts and feelings. You get to decide what they mean to you. And as you do, that changes or shifts and manifests your experience and reality. It changes the experience, past, present, and future. There you are as that untouched, pure awareness, pure love. And within that pure love, you have the free will. God gave you the free will to determine how you perceive that, how you experience that, what your experience is. You exist in all realities. You exist as all identities. You exist as all possibilities, all potential. Every possible outcome, every possibility exists within you. But where you live is your choice. You choose, in other words, you choose that. You might want to think of this as the Son of God, right? That I am awareness, that pure awareness that's one with the great I am. And then this as the Son of Man, your physical experience, or in other words, your experiencing itself of reality, your physical manifested experience. You get to choose where you live. In other words, no matter what the conditions are showing you, this is the manifested experience. Whatever those conditions are, you get to choose your experiencing. Do you see it? In your experiencing, how you see it, how you interpret it, your preference of who you are, changes the manifested experience, past, present, and future. I don't think we've ever talked about it so clearly than we are today. Do you see that? You choose your experiencing of reality. The experience is not in the future. It's right now, here and now, in the vertical. Past, present, and future is an idea of that horizontal linear experience. But you choose it right now. And so as I was making a point from that one of you that was believing, right, in that past abuse, in that past unrelated, in the dark circumstances of the present. Well, remember, those are changing depending on how you're experiencing them. What's your relationship to everything? You get to determine that. That's the only reality. This is a manifestation, a projection, a reflection of what you as reality are experiencing. But you get to determine that. Right? The experiences, the manifested experience is the manifested experience. Conditions are conditions. But you get to determine what they mean to you and what they turn into, past, present, and future. Right here, from this present identity of who you're choosing, how you're choosing to experience reality, you create the experience of that future you and that past you. So that story of abusive circumstances, of unwanted realities, right, of pain and suffering, that no longer exists. That's no longer your identity. It's already changed. But as you continue to tell that story and try to feel better about that, you continue to perpetuate that identity that believes that's who I am, that's my past. Your past is always changing. Hear this. And according to who and what you're identifying here and now. Your future is always changing. And according to who you are deciding to be here and now. In other words, how you determine you're experiencing reality as reality. Wow. Past, present, and future. That's powerful. So, I exist in all possible realities and identities and imaginal or remembered frames of all that is. How do I choose where I live or dwell? Or how do I choose my experiencing of reality or my identity? Well, remember, your experiencing is reality, your entire life experience. Who and what you say you are, who and what you're conscious of being is your entire reality, your entire experience. That's why I've talked about in the past the AIM method or the AIM technique, right? This technique where you assume and affirm, imagine and ignite the imaginal frame and then move and make that your own reality, your only reality. It's the AIM method. It's like a three-step method to show you how you choose, how you decide where to dwell and where to live. Because that question comes up quite a bit. How do I choose my identity? How do I choose that reality? Well, assume it, affirm it. I am who I am. I am who I say I am. I am that new identity. Forget what you believe you know about reality creation. And just assume it. Don't wait to attract it. Don't work your way up from the bottom, from the 3D manifested experiences, trying to think better thoughts and feel better and then move through that and then trying to change and then if you feel better, your assumptions will change and then your identity. We talked about the levels of creation. Go to that playlist again, right? Instead, assume it and affirm it from top down. That, in yesterday's video on the membership channel, we hit again the idea of robotic, or in other words, mindless affirmations, right? They're beyond the mind. Your word is law or reality. Affirm it anyway. Remember, a robotic affirmation is not because it's repetitive and in vain, but because it goes beyond the mind, the 3D linear lower mind, and goes directly as source. That's what we talked about very powerfully in yesterday's video on the membership channel. It goes directly to source. You're not trying to conjure up certain thoughts and feelings. You're affirming it anyway. That's powerful. You're creating from the top down. Maybe you will feel things. Great. If you feel love and gratitude, that's awesome. Gratitude always implies fulfillment. But you don't need to. You can go to that idea that I am source. I'm already that love and gratitude. I'm already those elevated emotions. And I'm just going to affirm it. I'm just going to say the word, right? And then the second, if you want to call it a step in this method, is imagine it. In other words, light up that frame of reality. All frames exist, and you exist in all of them. Light up your preferred frame, not the one of a preferred reality that you no longer prefer, of abuse and pain, that belongs to a different identity of you. It's still you, and it's still there, but now you're more aware of all that you are. You've transcended that pain because that belongs to a version of you, but you're no longer that version, right? Simple imaginal scene. It can be 1 to 2 seconds. We talked about the 1-2 second imaginal scene, but it doesn't matter. Or you can imagine it now and then, or 20 seconds, or an hour. Time doesn't matter. It's the scene, what the scene implies. What does it imply? What does that frame of reality imply? Does it imply that you are living that new experience? Because remember, as you ignite that frame, that is reality. Why? Because your experiencing is reality. It's not about the physical manifested, frozen, dead thoughts that you believe are out there. It's you in this moment imagining your desired reality. And then move with and without, knowing it's done because you say so. Move within and move without, right? Within and without. Knowing that it's done because you say so. Forget the circumstances don't matter, the people don't matter, the thoughts and feelings don't matter. They're all going to be there. You don't have to resist them. You don't have to try to get rid of anything, right? Go to this. Then make your experiencing the only reality. Make your experiencing itself the only reality. What you choose, your only reality. What you prefer, your only reality. And make that your experience as that experiencing awareness. Right? Remember, awareness and consciousness. The whole thing about that is it's always aware or conscious of something. It's always experiencing something. And that experiencing is reality. So your experiencing itself is reality. It's not something in the future to be experienced. It's here and now, no matter what the conditions, people, thoughts and feelings, circumstances are showing you. That's powerful. That's why we want you to forget everything you know about manifesting, except this, that it's you. I am your host, Tom Kearin, and this is the Be Something Wonderful studio of higher consciousness, where we help you level up and become the best version of yourself. Creators, thank you. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for liking and sharing and commenting on the videos. Thank you for being part of our Facebook group, The Ambassadors, at facebook.com/groups/BeSomethingWonderful. For joining us on Instagram and Twitter at Tom Kearin. For being part of our membership channel. We just released a big, powerful video yesterday on the idea of mindless, robotic affirmations, going beyond the mind. We talked about that idea yesterday. And this Sunday at 9 a.m. Pacific Coast Standard Time, right here from the studios of Be Something Wonderful, we're going to come to you live on our 6th live stream. Our 6th live stream this year, our 15th live stream overall on the membership channel. We're going to be answering your questions and talking about topics that you're sending to us at info@besomethingwonderful.com. Keep the questions and topics coming. If you're a member, join us. If you're not a member, check out the link below. Creators, with great love, with great light and infinite gratitude, this is Tom Kearin here in the studios of Be Something Wonderful. Until next time, we'll see you soon.